know that 70% of team members avoid difficult conversations in the workplace? That's the statistics I've heard a few times. Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg encourages her team to have tough conversations at least once a week. And if you're not having them, you're not growing, she has indicated in interviews. Difficult conversations at work are inevitable. Today's video will focus on ways to do just this. Welcome to Scaling for Success. We're all about helping businesses grow profitably, scale and move to the next level. If you're looking for consultancy and mentorship that really makes a difference, subscribe to our channel or visit the Scaling Management Consulting Group website. Links are in the description below. It's common for emotions to be high when difficult conversations roll around. So it's key that you have a plan for when they do. Setting up the conversation and thinking through the various options and outcomes are really important. So I want to give you a few tips today to help make those challenging conversations easier. Tip number 1, don't avoid it. We all do it. Difficult conversations become more difficult the longer you wait. You can also find that you'll build up anxiety that will make the situation bigger in your mind than it really is. Just like Apple co-founder Steve Jobs said, your job is not to be easy on people. Your job is to make them better. Make feedback a common occurrence and get in the habit of addressing issues immediately as they arise. If you're not having those difficult workplace conversations early on, you may find that you're having even more challenging discussions as they keep getting pushed. Point number 2, make sure you have a purpose. What do you want to get out of the conversation? Write down the top outcome or the top 3 things you want to accomplish and focus on them. If you hone in on the root of the problem right away, you lessen the probability of the conversation getting away from you. Remember, we are all human and no one wants to be approached with a laundry list of issues. That bears repeating, by the way. All of us, we are human. Be confident and direct. The person on the other end of the conversation will likely pick up on your energy, and if you approach it as an uncomfortable situation, it absolutely will be one. According to Facebook COO again, feeling confident or pretending that you feel confident is necessary to reach for these opportunities. It's cliche, but the opportunity is rarely offered. It's seized. Be open to the other person's perspective. Feedback shouldn't be a monologue. Okay, it needs to be a discussion, and it's important to listen to all perspectives. It might tell you something that changes your mind, and you don't want to be so committed to your initial thoughts and assessment that you don't hear what's actually being said. Make sure you're listening to the other person also lets them know that you're acknowledging their feelings. Being able to listen and communicate effectively will not only help you resolve the current problem together, but will help to strengthen that long-term relationship. Be empathetic. Remember, we are all human, and think about what it might feel like to be on the receiving end of that difficult conversation. If you see they're struggling with what you said, pause for just a moment so you can gather thoughts. Give them the space that they need. Hold that space for them. And if they start to get emotional, understand how they must be feeling and reassure them that you're providing the feedback because of the potential that you see in them. To have a constructive conversation aimed at conflict resolution, also be mindful that the other person is always important. Stick to the facts. Okay? Before your conversation, have a clear idea of what happened and be open to taking in new information. Okay? Take responsibility for your part in the situation and focus on the facts. Identify where either person went wrong and discuss the impact of this conversation on each person, the team, the organization as a whole. Not every conversation is going to go your way, and not everyone is going to agree with your point of view. Try not to let your feelings get in the way of a resolution. Find a solution. The goal of having the conversation is ultimately to reach a resolution. If the solution isn't clear from the beginning, make sure you're working together to come up with one that you both agree on. Listen to their ideas if they have any and bring some of yours to the table as well. For example, if you are telling a team member they didn't get a raise, explain why and offer solutions on how they can improve. Once you're in agreement, commit to the resolution, and make sure there's an action plan going forward. And don't forget about the follow-up. In a perfect world, all of the conversations we have would end the way that we want them to. That's rarely the case, though. Some people have had delayed reactions to bad news and may experience feelings of frustration, embarrassment, resentment after leaving the conversation. Be aware of this and check up on the other person periodically to make sure they're doing okay. If there seems to be some tension, schedule a time for an off-site get-together and maybe a walk. Grab a cup of coffee if that's possible, and if it's remote, give them a call. Yes, I did say call. Old school, I know. That's all we have time for in today's video, how to manage difficult conversations.
Like this video if you found it helpful. And for more content just like this, subscribe to our channel or visit the Scaling Management Consultant Group website at scalinggrp.com or our new website at scalingresources.com.